Yeah, how should I start this? Yeah, uh, like some of you might actually know me in person and say, "Oh, he's actually a cool guy. He's quite motivated and stuff." But I wasn't always like this. Uh, Growing up, always had issues. Sometimes I was really depressed to the point where I wouldn't talk to anyone, but I just wouldn't show it. It's kind of the person who knew how to conceal my emotions and conceal it quite well. And the result should have really affected me. It was until, well, I think it was like 2015 when I started gathering some strength and saying, hey, it can't be like this. And I started kind of working on myself. Well, it's before that, actually. Because growing up, it was at like the age of 9. Well, it was actually at the age of 7. I was like, hey, I want to be a Marine. And everybody around me was like, oh, you can't do this because you have asthma. And back then, I wasn't diagnosed with tachycardia yet. They were like, oh, you have asthma. You can't do this, can't do that. And I kind of believed them at one point until I was like, why am I listening to people telling me what to do? Because at that point, so I remember the year before, I'm missing like 31 days out of school simply because I was sick because of the asthma. Well, not consecutively. I think the most amount of days I've missed consecutively because of asthma was like 4. And yeah, sitting at home having nothing to do because with an illness or something, just wasn't cool. And so after missing like 31 days, I was like, this I can't let this be my life. It's like fuck this, I'm just doing me. Do what I have to do. Everyone dies, anyways. So finally, I had the courage to like go out, started playing with the other kids because before, due to the illness, doctors always told me that I can't be physically active. I can't add strange activities to my weekly schedule because the asthma is just that terrible. But anyways, I didn't really let that bother me after that. Fourth grade, which was 2009, we just started playing with the other kids, started being more physically active, started playing basketball. And then we had some people who used to visit our school. So whenever they're there, they were here, see, the school. Just play NFL with them, or just play around with the NFL ball. It's kind of where I got a lot of NFL from those people. And I skip forward to high school and started attempting the Marine Corps PFT, which for anyone's affiliated with that, that ain't something that's easy. It's actually quite hard. And my first time trying, I failed miserably. And it's just me trying on on my personal time. It wasn't me joining the military or anything. And we failed miserably. I remember the first time I tried to run 1.5 miles. Well, before it's my very first time, like I said. So I reduced it to 1 mile. I'm trying to cover it in the same time that they had, which is the slowest time after 13 minutes 30 seconds. That's for the 1.5, and I did 1 mile in 14 minutes 40 seconds. So I was like, this can't be happening. I need to be better, right? So I kept doing it for months until I eventually got down to 13 minute 18 seconds. I was like, wow, it's actually faster than anticipated. I kept doing the 1 mile until I got to like the 12-minute area for the 1 mile. I was like, okay, I need to extend this to 1.5, and that's when I did that. And eventually I started doing it in 12 minutes something. Then got down. Took me like 4 months to get down to like 11 minutes. And at that point, I started to get discouraged because I was like, there's no way I can actually the fastest time that they see. Well, if you want perfect score, you got to do it faster than 8 minutes 55 seconds, right? I was like, there's no way I can pull this off. So I just started, and the terrain I was doing it on wasn't easy either. It was like a lot of slopes. For the most part, it's like the first 400, 500 meters, it's kind of like a flat there's a little bump in it that goes downhill, but for the most part, it's flat. And then like the other one, like 1 mile, you say, is like, well, the other 1 kilometer or so is like strictly uphill, and then the other 0.6 kilometers is like downhill again. So he was like really rigorous for the most part, and struggled with that. So at one point, I actually gave up, and I was like, "What am I doing? I can't do this." And then I remember why I actually wanted to join the Marines in the first place. But I used that as a motivation to push myself to actually do better. And eventually, I started. Well, I think it was last year, year before. It was a year before. I actually started running like 9 minutes, something like less than 9 minutes 30 seconds for the 1.5, and I was like, wow, this is insane. Imagine that kind of like 3 4 years ago. Before that, I was nowhere near this. I was like 3 minutes down. Now I'm so much faster. Like really, that shit kind of motivated me. And what I didn't realize that while doing all this, physically I was training myself, but mentally I was actually pushing my physical limits. So some of the times on runs, like when I'm almost halfway through, my legs are like, I can't do this, can't do this. My brain's telling my body that it needs to stop, but mentally I'm like, no, I gotta push forward. And that's kind of how I keep my mental strength. And now I'm uh, the most motivated people I know. It's like the people around me aren't as motivated as I am, and it's not because they didn't grow up in a proper environment. It's like I didn't. They grew up in a better environment than I did. I grew up in a shitty environment, to be honest. Dysfunctional family, having psychological issues like depression and shit from I was like 4, which when you think about it is actually quite fucked up. But yeah, now I'm growing into the person I am today, standing here with my phone in my hand with the camera on, recording this shit. Just to kind of showcase that it doesn't matter what or where you're from, what you've been through or where you're from is based on your mindset. If you have the mindset that you want to succeed and you do anything to succeed, anything legally, I should say, to succeed, because illegal success is only short term and that fucks you up mentally. You'll be in a dark place afterwards. It's pointless. Anything you do legally and work on yourself before, and not judge others, of course. And that's true success when you become the best person you can possibly be and help others around you to do the same. I say that's true success. It doesn't really matter how much. It doesn't matter your wealth. It doesn't matter how much money you earn or shit like that. True success comes from within. That's kind of what I wanted to say to you guys. So if you like the video, even though it's a bit rambly, really wish I had like a bit of a structure. But yeah, as you can see, I have like an amazing view of the ocean and shit. Like I live in the hills. The area isn't as developed as I'd like it to be, but that's something I'm gonna change when I'm older. I believe that if you can't help the area you're from, like some point in saying, "Hey, I'm rich or I'm successful," if you can't even help the people around you, because that's just bullshit. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one, and I hope you like this one.